Detroit Den 313. We are back. Stephen Will talking about Detroit Lions football. Before we get started, hit that subscribe button. Do not forget the bell icon so you don't miss any of our new content. As you could see, we got breaking news and we just had to stop what we were doing and take care of business. So sorry if the sound is a little bit off in here. Steve, talk to the people, tell them what's happening.
This was a move that wasn't really on our radar. Detroit Lions going out, signing guard, Pro Bowl guard. Let me put a little respect on that name.
Put some
Pro Bowl
respect on his
guard,
name.
Kevin Zeitler from the former Baltimore Ravens. He's a little bit bounced around, played with the Bengals, the Giants, the Browns. Listen, we just talked a little bit today about a trade. We were a little suspicious something was going to go on. We were expecting a free agent signing, maybe a trade. We talked about it with Carlton Davis reshaping his contract and clearing up a little bit more money. We didn't think that they were doing that for no reason. We didn't know what the move was, but this is apparently what it was. Still do not have contract details. I've been refreshing Twitter. I know it's a one-year deal. I don't know what the salary is going to be, but he's flying to Detroit pending a physical. He'll be signed tomorrow.
Steve,
William,
what do the Ravens do?
they run the football.
They run the ball. Like, let's go.
Before we came on the show, you're at the gym, and I heard a train going off in the background. I thought that was Kevin Zeitler on his way to Allen Park, just full steam ahead.
Let's go, man.
Just plowing people. But this wasn't exactly on our radar, but we did kind of hint at it today with the trade. Going out, getting one more piece. We were talking about Coyote Awasikwa. Is he able to play that left guard position? We kind of hinted at it like that was a question mark. No more question mark now. Our offensive line is set in stone. Let's go. Let's get to August. The draft, we'll talk about the draft for a minute, but let's get to August.
Steve, we can pretty much draft who we want. We can go get that rusher that we've talked about. We can go get a weapon. We can just pretty much do whatever we want at this point. Like all of the thoughts of, people said that we were dreaming and being, romanticizing these guys, Xavier Liggett's and Xavier Worthies and all these crazy picks that they said we were crazy about. I feel like Brad Holmes wants to put himself in a position to where he can be a toddler and say, I'm going to do whatever I want.
Yeah, no rules. Listen, our offensive line it got drastically better. You plug him in where Jonah Jackson played, Pro Bowler for Pro Bowler. I have to imagine that with Jonah Jackson getting what was like $17 million a year, I gotta imagine. I'm just guessing before I've seen the official number. I'm gonna say Zeitler's probably in that 15 million range for 1 year.
Yeah, but it's 1 year.
So 1 year
off the book, and I think that's what people need to understand. When Brad puts these 1 year deals out there, even if they're a little bit more expensive, they're off the books. They're off the books, and so if we draft somebody, we can go develop that guy. I still imagine that we're going to see a guard get drafted, but hey, we drafted Swordstall, from William and Mary, and had a strong upside belief in him. So you're giving whoever we draft, whether it's in round 3, whether it's in round 5, 6, or 7, we're going to have a guy that'll have time to develop at least one season. So I love it, man.
Real quick, let's talk about this draft because my first thought process was I looked at this and I said, our O-line set, Taylor Decker, Kevin Zeitler, Frank Ragnow, Graham Glasgow, and the unit on the right, Penei Sewell. We're set at offensive line. Maybe we get a depth piece in there, but I don't think it's pressing within the first 3 picks. So let's get into the draft real quick. We don't have pressing needs anymore. I think we've said it before. There's no way we were both kind of on the same page where Brad's not picking at 29. Is he moving up? Is he moving back? I think with this signing, it's showing a little bit of aggression. It's showing a little bit of, all right, I lost my offensive line. I got to keep that intact. It was an aggressive move getting Kevin Zeitler, in my opinion. I think if you're keeping that aggressive mindset, I think Brad's moving up in this draft.
I'd love to see him move up and go get that Jared Verse, man. Go get that Dallas Turner. Go get him,
So, yeah, I mean, we'll get into it a little bit more in depth later, but yeah, I'm on the same page as you. Move up, let's get that edge rusher. Then what do you need? You technically don't need anything the rest of the draft.
I still want that X receiver. And if we're not moving up in this draft, or even I'm kind of more set on going a route to where if one of those absolute dogs is there, and the guys that I like, it's a Donnie Mitchell and it's Xavier Liggett. I'm still probably going to take those guys if we draft lower, in the 20s range. Maybe I'll go get one of those guys, and then I'll still on the back end of this thing, maybe get a Chris Braswell or somebody like that. So it can go either way, but I want a combination of edge rusher, X receiver in the discussion for me. And then still sprinkling in those linebackers, man. You got Wilson that ran the 4.4. You got Junior Colston that we've talked about, and then we got the big dog that we talk about sometimes at 29 or in the second round, Edrin Cooper. So let's get this defense faster. Let's get an edge rusher and let's get an X receiver. No pressure though. We can let this draft kind of fall to us the way we want to, and bump around if we so choose. No pressure. We can do whatever we want.
I just have a gut feeling that this aggressive mindset. This isn't like the craziest aggressive move in the world, but it shows that Brad Holmes is going out. He's not going to let his team at the very minimum get weaker. I think he's an upgrade over Jonah Jackson. It's aggressive, but it's not overly aggressive. So if that's the mindset, I think we're moving up. And I get it. In the NFL draft, you have to have a dance partner to trade up with. Yep. So, it's got to be two willing parties. We've talked about the Philadelphia Eagles a lot. They're very maneuverable in the draft. They like to move up. They like to move back. We don't know. That's a partner I've kind of talked about. They're somewhere in the 20s. I think maybe 20, 22, something like that. But I think Brad's going to make a move. I don't know what it'll be. I don't know where it'll be. But I think an edge rusher is more of a need than a receiver. If the first two picks of this draft are edge rusher in the first round, wide receiver in the second round, good night.
Steve.
William.
We're both going to be down there at the draft. If Brad moves up and he gets Jared Verse,
what's the saying?
We are going to act a fool, Steve.
Thoughts and prayers.
We are going to act a fool.
Yeah, I mean, our offensive line, dominant. Defensive line, you're an edge rusher away from being in that dominant category. I really think that. I think a top-end elite edge rusher makes your defensive line top 10 in the NFL.
Yeah.
Your offensive line's already top 1, in my opinion. I don't think there's an offensive line better. The Eagles are getting old. I think the Lions have overtaken them, but this draft's wide open now.
Oh, looking forward to it, man. This excites me.
So, guys, Kevin Zeitler, Detroit Lion, tomorrow, pending physical. I'm sure it's going to go well. Also, he's very healthy, doesn't miss time. He's missed a game or two here and there throughout his career, nothing crazy. He's a guy who's going to come in, plug and play, day one starter, no questions asked, Pro Bowl caliber, replaces Jonah Jackson, upgrade. The big talk now for me is going to be the NFL draft, like we've been hammering a little bit here. It's wide open. Leave some comments down below. Let us know what you think. You like the move, love the move. I give this a solid B+, a solid B+. It's hard to give out A's, but this is knocking on the door of an A in my opinion. But hit that comment button, leave some messages down below. If you're new here, stick around, subscribe. We'll be back later with some more content. We apologize for the little bit of lack of quality here, but this is breaking news. We do have normal lives. Yeah. This is just kind of one of those times, few and far between, but we will be back later with some more content.
Peace.